You may think that you're chasing money or freedom, but are you really just chasing applause? Most of us believe that we're making conscious choices in life. But if I looked at how you spend your time, money, and energy, I could tell you what you're really optimizing your life for. In this video, we'll look at 6 hidden goals that people optimize for in their lives and which of them are truly worth it. Watch till the end because the last one is the most tricky but the most important of them all. Let's start with the obvious one, money. You wake up, go to work, save, invest, maybe even build a side hustle. Nothing wrong with that. But if you ask yourself, why am I doing this? The answer is usually to be secure. But in reality, you're just optimizing purely for money, perhaps without even knowing it. When you optimize just for money, life becomes a spreadsheet. Every hour is equal to ROI. Every decision is equal to profit or loss. Even relationships become transactions. If we plot a graph of happiness versus money, you may expect your graph to look like this, where happiness increases all along as you increase your money. But in reality, you will see your happiness increase only up to a certain point, after which it will flatten out or worse, decrease. But because you're unconsciously chasing money, you may not even realize that you're unhappy. Ask yourself, am I chasing the highest paying path, even when it costs me my joy? If yes, your life's algorithm might be coded for cash, not freedom. It's okay if this is what you truly want, but don't be in denial about it. The next thing we optimize for is power. And no, it doesn't always look like corporate or political ambition. It looks like this: needing to win every argument, control every outcome, climb every ladder. Your decisions are driven by needing to be the boss, the alpha, the one who knows it all. You're not optimizing for peace, you're optimizing for dominance. Even if it's subtle, like always needing the last word, this need for control can quickly hijack your life. If we plot a graph of happiness versus power, just like with money, you may think that your happiness will continue to grow as you gain more power. But in reality, you will see your happiness only increase up to a certain point. And beyond that, it most certainly will decrease as you gain more power. Because as the old saying goes, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Ask yourself, do I feel uncomfortable when I'm not in control? If so, you're in an algorithm might be chasing status, not peace. Before we take a look at the next one, please take a moment to subscribe because this channel is optimized for financial freedom, career growth, and happiness. The next one on the list is very sneaky. It's applause. You're not chasing money, you're not chasing power, but are you chasing praise and applause? Are you chasing validation? Is every post curated for likes? Every outfit chosen for compliments? Is every life decision quietly asking, will this impress them? You might even pursue noble goals, but underneath, it's not about meaning. It's about being seen as meaningful. The graph of happiness versus applause looks very much similar to money and power. You may think that your happiness will continue to increase with more applause and praise, but reality sets in when it starts to flatten out or even decrease beyond a point of applause. Here's the paradox: applause is addictive, but it's never fulfilling because as soon as the claps fade, you need another hit. Ask yourself, would I do this if no one ever noticed? If the answer is no, you might be optimizing for praise, not purpose. At number 3 on the list is time. Time is our most important resource, and it's the one thing that we all want to optimize for and have more of. A lot of us aim to be more efficient so that we can save time and have more time. Some people retire early and then spend 10 hours a day scrolling reels or micromanaging their garden hose pressure. But more time doesn't guarantee more life. Time sounds very similar to freedom, but here's the twist: time is neutral. What matters is what you fill it with. The happiness versus free time graph is very interesting. It could definitely look like this, where your happiness continues to increase as you have more free time, but only if you know what to do with that free time. Often, as is the case with other things, happiness tends to flatten out at a certain point of free time if you don't know how to use it well. If you are optimizing for free time without knowing what for, you may be chasing the illusion of freedom, not the feeling of being alive. Ask yourself, if I had all the time in the world, what would I do with it? If you don't know the answer, more free time isn't your solution. At number 2 on the list is freedom. We all say that we want freedom, and it is similar to time in one way, because more time likely means more freedom. But freedom is tricky because most people define it by what they are escaping from. I want freedom from a job. I want freedom from stress. I want freedom from people telling me what to do. But here's the question: freedom to do what? If you don't know, freedom becomes a void. And guess what fills that void? Money, noise, distraction, applause. Real freedom isn't just the absence of constraint, it's the presence of clarity, of living a life aligned with your values, your rhythm, and your choices. It's not just about having time, it's also escaping from the other things that rob you of your freedom. The happiness freedom graph again looks very similar to the others. If you do have clarity, your happiness will continue to increase as you gain more freedom. But if you lack clarity, your happiness will drop off after a certain point of freedom. Ask yourself, if I woke up tomorrow with total freedom, what would I do with that freedom? If you don't have an answer, you're not chasing freedom. You're just trying to run away. And finally, at number 1 on the list, the one thing we all say we want: happiness. If you are truly optimizing your life for happiness, then you're already ahead of most people. But happiness is tricky because here's the hard truth. Even if we think that we're optimizing for happiness in our lives, we don't actually act in ways that prioritize happiness. You know that chasing unending career growth may not actually make you happy, but you can't stop. Are you really optimizing for happiness? You aren't. You know that chasing money at the cost of everything else will probably not make you happy, but you can't stop. You think you want to be happy, but you don't act in ways that prioritize your happiness. We all make this mistake in our lives. We try to optimize for everything else in the pursuit of happiness. Instead of doing that, you should directly optimize for happiness. Happiness isn't in the thing, it's in how you relate to the thing. You won't find it in a better job, or a better relationship, or a better version of you. You'll find it when you stop optimizing your life to look good on paper and start optimizing for happiness. Hit subscribe, and if you want to understand the top 8 habits that helped me achieve financial freedom, watch this video.